Okay, so I'm here today with Jonny Benjamin, who is the author of The Stranger on the Bridge, which is this excellent book and was also made into a Channel 4 documentary of the same name. I can't pretend to tell your story better than you can, so I was just wondering I know lots of people probably will be quite familiar with your story, but whether you could sum up what the book's about and kind of the journey that got you there and the journey you had afterwards.
Yeah, sure. So, well, essentially the book is kind of, my sort of life story and takes you through, everything from childhood, all the way through adolescence, and I guess the sort of the manifestation of my mental health issues and all the symptoms, and then kind of that pivotal moment when I had a massive breakdown when I was 20, and then got my diagnosis and ended up on this bridge. And then that turning point when the stranger talked me down from the edge of the bridge, and my journey since then, which has been a long road of recovery and learning to manage my mental health. So it's my entire sort of 31 years really sort of condensed into this book. And I think I know the book is pretty quite frank, and it's difficult for me in places to read it because it's particularly with my poetry and my creative writing. I was in a really bad headspace at times, so it's difficult to read that. But I think the ultimate message is about the hope. That no matter what you can overcome. That's what I want people to take away, is that you can overcome any obstacle and you can get through it, and there is always hope. So that, despite all the challenging stuff that's in there, I think hopefully people leave with a sense of hope.
Mm. And you went on a campaign to find Mike, as you dubbed him, because you didn't remember the name, and it turned out to be a chap called Neil, who you've connected with. And I think it's interesting just to talk a little bit about the sorts of activities you now do as a pair.
Yeah.
You go into schools and you campaign and you talk publicly about these events and more. So what have you kind of achieved so far, and what would you like to achieve with it?
Well, I think my big focus is, there's so many, isn't there? I mean, everything from suicide is a massive kind of focus of mine, and prisons. I think my big focus is young people, because a lot of this book is about my youth and going through my youth completely scared and ashamed of my mental health and my sexuality as well. So my big focus now and going forwards is young people. Myself and Neil, we've just set up a charity, Beyond Shame, Beyond Stigma, which is all about getting help and support to young people when they need it, instead of waiting as people do. Not just young people as well, but also looking at families and teachers, because everyone's affected. Everyone's affected when someone has a mental health issue. So at the moment we're doing lots in schools and colleges and universities and prisons and businesses and the NHS as well, big area. So we're doing lots of work there. Going in, we share our story. We try and help in terms of strategy. Maybe it's at school. We look at what strategy they've got in place in terms of mental health. But going forwards, I want to do much more, particularly in terms of the school curriculum. We want to get mental health embedded into the curriculum. We can make a big difference by talking about mental health within different subjects like history or science, something about the brain, or English, talking about books. There's so many things that we can do. My big focus going forward is just ensuring that everyone gets the help and support that they need in a timely way, because at the moment it's just horrendous out there. The waiting lists and the thresholds, and not being able to access help and support, and it's just it needs to change. So that's kind of there's a lot to do.